Good morning, everyone. It is me, Will Olabi'i, here yet again with another soccer podcast. Now, I didn't do one last week, unfortunately, which is my fault. The week before that, I did do one in case you haven't seen it. I'm going to make sure to go to the NBC 2.0 page where this will also be uploaded to. And, I predicted some stuff pretty well, I thought. Anyway, because I'm just going to basically today is just going to be a shorter podcast than the last one. Today I'm only going to focus on one league today. I think that's probably better for each time. So today's league that I will be focusing on will be the Premier League. Now, if you guys haven't watched the first episode of my podcast, you would have known that the Premier League is pretty much my favorite soccer league to watch, mostly because the team that I support is in that league. So I say that I basically am just going to jump right in here, all right? Nice. Okay. Now, this weekend, we have some pretty big games coming up, all right? Some pretty big games that could help maybe decide who's going to win the Premier League, So let's start off with the first game of the Premier League season. That's going to be at 7:30 a.m. on Saturday. We have Chelsea versus Manchester City. Now, Chelsea and Manchester City are arguably the two best Premier League teams, are one of the two best Premier League teams in the league, right? There's 6 good Premier League teams, but these two are one of the top 4 of the Premier League teams. So, last weekend, Chelsea played Tottenham, and they won 3-0. And they played pretty well. Chelsea completely dominated Tottenham, 3-0, easy win for them. I was kind of surprised that it was 3-0, though, but But Man City drew to Southampton 0-0. Now that is really surprising. Mostly because Man City won the Premier League last season. So they can't afford to be, dropping points and drawing games 0-0 to a team that almost got relegated last season. But it happened. And because they drew that game, they're in 5th place. Meanwhile, Chelsea's up there in 1st. So, Man City need to step up their game a little bit. But, it's only the first 5 games of the season. We're not going to pressure them too hard. Now, for being honest here, I believe that Chelsea will be able to beat Manchester City. Honestly, I do. Chelsea's team is strong, right? Their striker, Lukaku, big guy. He's like an engine tank. He's like a freight train, Then they have a ton of good wingers on the outside. They're 7 and 11, which is the wingers. Their number 10, their central attacking midfielder, is also a good player, Mason Mount. He's English. He's a good young player. He's only about 20, 21. Obviously still got a lot of game for him to play. And they have a good goalkeeper, Edouard Mendy, who is, I want to say, French. His name sounds French, but I don't think he's actually French. And then they have one of the best defensive midfielders in the league, N'Golo Kante. If he starts N'Golo Kante, if Thomas Tuchel, who is the manager for Chelsea, starts N'Golo Kante with Lukaku and Mason Mount and Edouard all through the middle, Chelsea's winning that game easily. Now, don't be sleeping on Man City, all right? Man City are a good team. They're one of the best teams in the Premier League, if not the best team in the Premier League. Their manager, Pep Guardiola, has done good things with Manchester City. So, I think that this is going to be a really tough game for both sides. But Chelsea is going to win this game. I got 3-1. I know. Beating the champions from last season 3-1 would be really hard. But I'm going to go with 3-1 to Chelsea. Now, our next game, Man U against Aston Villa, at the same time on Saturday at 7:30. Man U is winning this game. Man U is winning this game. If you guys haven't seen their striker, their new number 7, but also their old number 7, Cristiano Ronaldo. He played for Man City back when he was a young player, back when he was like 20, maybe 23. No, I want to say a little bit younger than that. But anyway, he played for them back then. And now he's come back to probably play out the rest of his career, like I mentioned last time. And with the team that Man United has, I just don't see them losing or even conceding a goal to Aston Villa realistically. But Aston Villa won 3-0 last week against Everton. So, anything can happen. That is one of the beautiful things about soccer. Anything can happen in any game at any time, and you will not believe it to happen. But I got Man U winning this game against Aston Villa. I'm going to go with 2-0. I got 2-0. Either 2-0 or 3-0, but I'm going to go with 2-0. Now, next game. Got Leicester City versus Burnley. Leicester City, they played pretty well last season. It was unfortunate that they finished in 5th last season, though. They could have played better, and they know they could have. But Leicester City are going to beat Burnley. They are. I mean, Burnley lost to my team, Arsenal, 1-0 last week. Yay, we won a game. And the week before that, Arsenal won 1-0. So, we're doing all right. So far, so okay. But Burnley, I'm not going to say anything too bad about Burnley, though, because Burnley has a really good striker named Chris Wood, their number 9. He's a really good striker. He's pretty strong and he's tall, so he can win those balls in the air. He has a good head on him. He's a good header. So I think this is going to be a really close game. But I have Leicester winning. I'm going to go with 2-1. I got Leicester winning 2-1. I think Burnley are going to score first, but Leicester is going to come back and take the game and make it 2-1, I think. Now, next game, Everton against Norwich City. Norwich City is going to lose this game pretty heavily, I believe. Mostly because Norwich City, they haven't won a game yet in the Premier League. They're sitting in 20th place, and they're not doing really well. They've lost 4 games, and they've lost 5 games, and they haven't won a single game. So, I believe they're just not going to win. I know it's unfortunate. It sucks. Have better positivity, but it's just not going to happen. I mean, in 5 games, they scored 2 goals, and they've conceded 14 goals. It's not a good start for Norwich. So, I think that I did say Everton. Nope. Leicester City. Ooh, very bad. Leicester City are going to beat them. They are. I can see it. They're going to win. Leicester City is going to win. I got 3-0. Wait, no, what? I'm talking about Everton against Norwich. I'm so sorry. I'm not paying attention. But I have Everton winning that game against Norwich, and I'm going to go with scoreline 3-0. Leeds against West Ham. West Ham is a better team than Leeds. Yes. Leeds are good. They're an okay team, They're not a bad team, but they're not a good team. But they're not a great team, They fall in that good category. They haven't started the season off so well, though. It could be better. They haven't started it off so good, Haven't won a game yet either, but they have 3 draws, which is all right, but it could be better, and they know it. But West Ham have started off really well. So I got West Ham winning this game against Leeds. However, I do think it's going to be a close game, and I got West Ham winning 1-0. In case I haven't explained it yet, a win is 3 points, a draw is 1 point, and a loss is obviously 0 points. So, Now, next game we have Watford against Newcastle United. Watford being one of the teams, new Premier League teams that have been, promoted the last season. they've started the Premier League season off not too bad, you know? They haven't started it off too bad. They're playing all right. Newcastle, however, have not started the Premier League off so well. They still haven't won a game either. But they have 2 points, so that means 2 draws. But I do think that Newcastle has a good team. They're just not playing well. So I got Watford and Newcastle drawing 1-1. I believe it's going to be a draw. Last game on Saturday. Brentford versus Liverpool. Brentford, being one of the newly promoted teams again, haven't done too bad in the Premier League, you know? I mean, they've won 2 games, they've drawn 2 games, and they've lost 1. You know, it's not a bad record to start off from 5 games. Arguably, I think everyone is a little bit surprised at how they're starting off so far. But, you know, I think they could do pretty well this season. Now, however, you know, they are playing Liverpool, and Liverpool is one of the best teams in the Premier League, if not the best team in the Premier League. But I think Brentford are going to give Liverpool a run for their money. But I got Liverpool winning 3-1 against Brentford. Now we got Southampton against Wolves on Sunday. Neither Southampton or Wolves have started off the Premier League season off too well. I mean, Southampton is just sitting above Wolves by only 1 place. And Southampton haven't won a game yet, but they have 4 draws. And Wolves have only won 1 game, but they have 4 losses. So this is going to be a really tight game. So I got Southampton and Wolves. I got 0-0. I don't think anyone's going to score. I don't. I really don't. And now, the biggest game of this week. The North London Derby. Now, the North London Derby is one of the longest Premier League rivalries ever. It's against 2 teams, Arsenal and Tottenham. Now, Arsenal is the team that I support, if you guys don't know. So, obviously, I might be a little biased in this one, but too bad, so sad. Now, see, we haven't started it off the league so well. We really haven't. I mean, we've won 2 games out of 5, and we've lost the other 3. So we could be playing a whole lot better, and we know it. We know it. We know that we should be doing better. Now, the team that we're playing, Tottenham, you know, they're our Premier League rivals. We do not like them because they are our rivals. So, obviously, I'm hoping that we're going to win. And Tottenham lose terribly. But, alas, that is probably not how it is going to end. So, I got to play it safe here. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. I know, I should be saying, what do you mean? You should be saying that your team's going to win. I know, but, you know, when you watch a team that you love, that you've been supporting for a long time, and then you see them play really terribly in the first couple of seasons, first 3 games, loses all 3 and haven't scored a goal, you kind of start to feel a little bit sad. So I'm honestly just going to go with the 2-2 draw. But we're going to win 3-2. I got that. All right, next game, Crystal Palace against Brighton. Crystal Palace last week lost to, I just want to make sure that I'm getting my facts correctly. They lost to Liverpool 3-0. And the week before that, they beat Tottenham 3-0. So, Crystal Palace have had like an on-off start to the season. Played well one game, played terribly the other game. You know, they've done all right. But I got Crystal Palace beating Brighton. I do. Brighton beat Brentford last week. Brighton beat Leicester City last week 2-1. And that's a pretty big win for Brighton. Because Leicester City, you know, they finished in 5th place out of 20th last season, and that's pretty good. So I think it's going to be a close game, but I honestly think that Crystal Palace are going to beat Brighton. I got 2-0. Because, Wilfred Zaha for Crystal Palace, zipping up the wings. They got it on lockdown. Well, that has been the Premier League special for today. Hopefully, my 4 predictions that I have said are correct for this week that's coming. Also, we, as my team Arsenal, I am praying that you guys will win. I'm praying that you guys will win against your rivals and do well. That's what I am hoping and praying for. Well, this has been my podcast. I hope you guys pay attention, have fun, and learn about soccer. Thank you.